Hi, Serena.
Hi, Sabrina.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Eventprofs Together at Home. I'm Sabrina Myers from Hot Hospitality Exchange, and I'm very excited to have a guest from the other side of the world here today. And it's my lovely guest, Serena. Me and Serena got to know each other because we worked for a company together, and we actually met at IMAX Frankfurt 2 years ago. And it was a lot of fun. We got along really well, and we've kept in touch online ever since, sort of corresponding with each other through Facebook and different social media platforms. I love so much what Serena does. I'm a big advocate of it, and I'm going to hand it over to her now to introduce herself, where she is, and how she's doing, and what the situation is. So over to you, Serena.
Thanks for the intro, Sabrina. I am talking to you from Singapore, so I think you have a little bit of a heart in there as well. I've been here for about 4.5 years, time flies, and I am the founder of EVNTACT, which is a sustainable event management company, which is, just to give you a quick little background, is just a traditional event management company. But what I do and with my team, what we do is we use sustainability to really plan events. So sustainability is at the core of everything we do, and it's from concept to planning to post-evaluation and all these wonderful things. So it's just about how we create that type of environment to inspire the others through sustainability. So that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years and counting.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are in Singapore, so what is the situation in Singapore right now?
So in Singapore, as you really well know, people are very disciplined and educated, so they follow orders really well. So we were lucky enough not to go in a full lockdown up until the 4th of April. So we had a gradual lockdown first, and then the government decided that it was a better measure to actually completely stop and follow the measures as other countries did. So we are on a full lockdown since the 4th of April, and it will stop on the 5th of May. So we have a full month, which we call in the circuit breaker. That sounds much better. And yeah, the circuit breaker sounds so much better. And we're basically following whatever else is doing. But because of the graduality of it, we did start working from home a couple of weeks before the lockdown happened, and cinemas were closed, and many entertainment venues were closed before that. So I think perhaps we didn't feel it as much as any other country, because it was a gradual restriction rather than off you go, now you stay indoor. And yeah, it's been an interesting 10 days. I can't believe it's been that long already, but it's not so bad.
And do you usually work from home, or do you have an office that you go to? Is this a new situation for you right now? And if it is, have you set yourself up, like how have you set yourself up at home? Do you have a dedicated space, or are you moving around? Tell us a little bit about that.
When I started the company, I started very sudden and I didn't have much plans. So I did start working from home 3 years ago. So I felt like going back to the roots, which was nice and scary at the same time, I guess. So I had some discipline for what it comes about working from home. I usually have my dedicated space. However, because it's quite a little bit in the dark area of the house, I've decided to shift all the furniture around. So I gave it a complete new lift.
Fantastic.
Why not? Who doesn't want to move a piano from one side of the other of the room? That was something that it's definitely staying with me now. So I've decided to move out a little bit in terms of space. So now I am sitting right next to the door windows to the balcony, so I get constant natural light. As a matter of fact, I don't switch on my lights up until 6 p.m. Carrying on at home what I do at work. Feeling the energy. So I usually stay with natural daylight all day. To be honest with you, I kind of carried on the same schedule I had before. So that might sound silly, but I still wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning. I still am at work by 8 a.m. Break around 1 o'clock, work until 6, 7 p.m. And then I have my new exercise routine right out on my balcony. So I basically don't really have to leave the house at all. And yes, it is a little different to work from home, but to be honest, I have so many scheduled meetings and calls that really the working day goes as fast as it always did. So it doesn't really change much of my plan.
Yeah.
What I did find different is obviously it's the beginning of the day and then the end of the day.
Yeah.
And the joy of working from home is that you have no commuting time, because
No, exactly.
in between, like, you have no, I mean, there's usually never traffic between the living room, the balcony, and the kitchen. It's incredible. There's never traffic. So, it's what it is. So I think I finally found myself to having a little bit of extra time in a day to do a few more things that I always have to put back, or I have to do in a very slow pace because of lack of time.
Yeah.
So I actually feel that this timing, it's thriving rather than segregating. As I was like, I would have never seen that.
And it's so nice to, you hear so many different perspectives, and it just, for me, it cements that everyone does go through this experience in a different way. What would you say right now are your 3 daily essentials?
Coffee.
Yeah.
More coffee.
Yeah.
And wine. No, definitely. Yeah, there you go. Definitely sticking to a specific routine and having an objective, which I set myself for the end of the circuit breaker, as we call it here. That's something that is essential into my day. So besides having a month objective, I also have a daily objective. So the first thing I do when I get up is actually I am doing my fitness exercise, which is a 21 days plank challenge, something really silly, but that sets my day off. So that's the first thing I have to achieve in my day, and that's the first objective that I think it must be done, because that kind of sets me into the resilience of the day. You try and be on a plank for 1.5 minutes straight after bed. It's hard. It wakes you up. I can tell you.
I mean,
and I think
I know it's hard. Yeah. It wakes you up. That's the main.
It wakes you up. And I think it's not just the waking up, but it's just about how resilient can you be. So that's like step one. I've woken up and I know that I can do this, and therefore nothing else can stop my day. So I think that's a must have in a day. And really after that, it is coffee. So that was no joke. And I think another thing that I love to have is my news time, just to get connected, not only locally, but actually globally. So I love to get my BBC news intake around lunchtime, because it's when I can get the East and the West news and just be up to speed. And then after that, I feel like sometimes I think after lunchtime is a time where at least I miss the human connection. So that's the time where I usually try to speak with my team or colleagues, and just to really figure out what they're doing. And that I think it's quite essential, because it helps you realizing that that you're not alone into this. But I think when you are in your own environment, and I live alone, so it's literally myself and I, it is important to remember that you're just a part of the puzzle, and you're not just like a thrown out rock. Absolutely. So I think that's another essential. And then I think the last essential of the day is it's really just like the Netflix pleasure after. So that's kind of like, I just disconnect. So that's my ABC of my daily needs.
Have you come to realize anything about yourself in these days that you've been locked down at home?
Yes, that I'm much more as an introvert than I thought I was. So I am always seeing myself. Yeah, that's shocking. I always thought I'm a very extroverted person, and I have no problem to talk to a tree. I have absolutely no issues with that. And before the whole lockdown started, I felt like, oh, this is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
So first thing I did, actually, to make myself more productive to community, I actually sheltered a cat, which is sleeping on the chair, which I'm fostering until obviously now the end of the circuit breaker, when we will be able to find her a home. And that was really more egoistically said. It was more for me than for her, because I didn't feel I could be alone. But what I'm realizing now is that it's such a great thing to have so much time to be by yourself, and have that time to stay alone. that now I really do not look forward to go back to social life. I'm quite happy
I'm
inside.
not ready for people.
Yeah, like I wasn't ready to say it. Now I am totally not ready for people. And I think I'm actually at day 6 of not leaving the house whatsoever. So I'm
Wow,
like, yeah,
that
I'm
is,
good here. Yeah, I'm fine. Don't need anything. So
but that's good, you
that's
know.
definitely a huge discovery. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, yeah, I never thought about that. I am definitely an extrovert, and the realization is that I am definitely an extrovert. So that's, so unfortunately, that's the difference right now
That
between.
didn't work.
Um,
Yeah.
I need people. So what are you doing then from a wellness perspective, both physically and mentally? So obviously you do your planking and you do your workout in the morning, you mentioned.
Yeah, I do like actually in the morning it's the plank and a little bit of yoga,
Hmm.
just to actually set the mind together with the body.
Yeah.
And then it's actually after work that I maintain my routine. So I still have a workout in the evening, which now is shorter because I feel like I'm working out twice a day now. And I'm not that much of a fitness freak, so I've just shortened out the exercise.
Yeah.
So definitely for the physical perspective, and also because I'm quite hyperactive and I need to really release those energies. I have this little bit of challenge in the morning, and then I do a little bit of yoga, getting to work. And I think the yoga is really like a simple thing just to set the mind back together with the body.
Yeah.
And as you said at the beginning, we have to accept where we are, and right now it's not even that. Now right now it's like, okay, now I am awake, and I'm mentally awake as much as physically awake, which
Yeah.
is quite quite a great thing. And like being present before you sit at your desk, so that feeling when you just get up and you stare at your screen and you go like, whoa, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
So I felt that since I started doing some yoga in the morning, it actually, I sit at my desk and I'm ready to go. So that's definitely something that if anyone has issues to focus in the morning, I I strongly suggest to do that.
Can you give us any recommendations of anything you've been doing, reading, following, watching, that has been giving you some positivity in this time?
I'm quite of a positive person for myself, so
Mhm.
I feel that I actually am the one sprinkling positivity to all my friends, which it makes me feel better though.
Yeah.
But I do tend to, again, the news, I think it's something that connects me to the world, although they might not bring you exactly positivity, but I feel that people can find connections through different means.
Yeah.
And definitely I've read a couple of books which they were quite entertaining. Sometimes like even just a nice light reading. So I'm reading a book about insider in North Korea, which is quite interesting. It's basically about these journalists that it infiltrates in North Korea, and it gives you the truth of what it is. So it's very interesting. And I think with a lot of what I am in contact with, it's local communities, which might not really be valuable for everybody else. But we have a lot of WhatsApp groups, which is like conscious groups, or like LinkedIn groups, or just friends, and we just talk to one another quite constantly,
Yeah.
sometimes too much. But I think that that's what really brings a little bit of a laugh. So we have we call it the stand-up comedy group. So whatever something that you find silly that gives you a laugh, people just post it there. And it's
Fantastic.
something that we start doing it like about maybe 3-4 weeks ago, when the situation started getting worse, just to have a laugh.
Yeah.
But that's something that we just did here. I think on a more wider level, I'm trying to be as far away as social media as I can
Mm.
for the time being,
Yeah.
because I obviously with all the social distancing, the only tools we now have to talk to people is social media.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to minimize that, to have more quality interaction rather than consuming content, unless I need it because I need it to work. But
Yeah.
I'm really trying to stay away from it. But I think most of what I'm following is very much Singapore based, so it keeps me close to the community that I am into somehow.
Are you doing anything else to do digital detox? Do you switch your phone off after a certain time, or is there
Not
no
really.
screen?
Not really. I think the biggest I do is really just trying to limit the amount of content I use, especially perhaps during the evening times. So evening is when I'm like, that's it. I spoke to the people I have to talk to. That's me time now. thing that I've never said before. But now I discovered that I'm a great person by myself, so why not?
You are in good company. Exactly.
Oh yeah, apparently, yeah. It took me a long time to discover that, but better late than never.
That's a good discovery. I think it's a very important thing to enjoy being by yourself, and I think it's something very hard to achieve. And I think if once you do achieve it, I think there's a lot of positive you can get out of it. Once this lockdown is over and you can leave your house and all the shops are open again and all the restaurants are open again, because Singapore is like a foodie world, right? Where's the first place that you are going to go to?
The beach.
Okay.
But it won't be Singapore beach, I'm afraid. But I am craving the beach. Yeah, sorry. It won't be Singapore beach. Nothing to take away from Sentosa, but that's not the beach I'm talking about. I'm not thinking about a dreamy little type of beach. But I think that's the thing that I miss the most is the waves, the sand, the smell of the sea, because I'm really attached to water in general.
Then I guess it's connected to if you can get on a plane again and if you can travel. Where is the first place you want to travel to?
Well, I don't need to get on a plane. I can swim to Thailand. That's no problem.
That's good.
Yeah, I think definitely, again, because of my missing the beach type of thing, I would probably wanted to go to Thailand and just lock myself up in one of those small islands. Great for a circuit breaker. And then I think the second it will definitely be Italy, of course. One is because I haven't seen my family for a while, but also because I'm craving proper good food. I mean, Singapore is a food paradise.
Yeah.
But I have this every day. So now I start craving my Italian dishes and I'm trying to experiment, but my cooking is not mommy's cooking. So,
it never is. It never is. Absolutely.
So I guess definitely I would want to go back home. Yeah.
Perfect. And our last question is, do you have any words of advice for all of us Eventprofs that are in this situation together?
Yes, definitely is think outside the box. Don't think that what we had is over, because I think we are in an industry where it's a magical industry, and because of this period, it doesn't mean that it's not going to get back to what it was. Perhaps it's going to get better, or perhaps it's going to be different, but human connections will be there. And just take this time to really understand where you want to go and how you want to make your own contribution, and venture in other things, because it's no point for us, to keep hustling when we can't move. But it's definitely a great time to understand really who you are and how you want to position yourself within the industry and how you can make an impact in whichever way you want to.
Absolutely. Fantastic advice. Thank you so much, Serena, for your time and dialing in from Singapore, my hometown. I miss it very, very much. And thank you everyone for watching another episode of Eventprofs Together at Home. Stay tuned for more Eventprofs Together at Home. There's plenty of us around the globe. And stay at home, stay positive, and watch out for the next one. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.